The original Toy Story.
which I think actually should be higher than its sequel. But
Toy Story. Yeah, I'd imagine Toy Story 2's on this list. Yeah.
it's higher, but
It's well, the people, including me, I do think the sequel's better than the first film.
yeah, I prefer
Then
the
again,
first
I
one.
think
But then again, I was like the perfect age for the first one when it came out. So
yeah, that's the thing though. I mean, but then again, that's just why this film series is such a kick-ass trilogy of films. Because like you said yourself, like in a PM, that you said it was weird seeing Andy grown up around the same age as you.
yeah, well,
It's just
because I was more or less the same age as Andy for each film when they came out.
yeah,
I was 5 when the first one came out, where he was 5. I was 8 when the second one came out, when he was 7.
they fucked up there.
Well, it's close enough. Close enough. And, I'm 20 now when he's 17, 18,
Yeah,
but
just it's close enough.
yeah.
The films aged with the viewer. Yeah, there was always adult humor there to begin with,
Yeah.
but the trilogy aged with the viewer, and you know what? I fucking love because of that. And Toy Story 2 to me was the pinnacle of that.
Yeah. It was
And
funny because I was kind of in a post-war, I guess, with
what?
someone on a article about how animated movies aren't just for kids anymore, even though that's been the case for 40 years now. I don't know why someone just now is making that
Yeah,
revelation, but
it's like it just
no,
caught that.
someone was kind of upset about Toy Story 3, about, oh, it wasn't quite as funny and stuff, and I'm like, dude, you're missing the point completely. It's like, it's not the fact that it wasn't funny, it's just that it's more for us than it was for kids.
What's funny is that I went to go see. I went to the theaters to go see Toy Story the day it came out, which I think was a Tuesday, and there was still school going on at that time, so we cut school with my mother's permission, and a cross-eyed moron was working the projector, because when we got to the initial reveal of Buzz Lightyear, all we saw was his feet with 75% black screen in the bottom. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? I didn't get to see Buzz Lightyear's initial reveal because of that shit, and I had to wait for the VHS tape.
I remember how good the first one was when I first saw it.
Oh well,
Yeah, the
uh,
animation itself is a bit dated. Just because
yeah. In terms of like
it
actual,
was the first one, so I can't really complain.
yeah, and, like in terms of like actual like animation, like it's a bit rigid, a bit. Like comparing it to the second and third film, yeah, there's a big difference. But
It was the first one, especially
yeah,
when you look at Pixar's earlier works. I mean, I used to have a tape of shorts Pixar made before Toy Story from like '93, and even
geez,
from 3 to Toy Story, there's a huge difference.
yeah, and
And
I was
yeah, I
actually
know I just said in 10, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs that looked dated, but that entire movie itself is dated. This is just the only thing that's really dated is the animation.
the animation. Um, I've actually gone a few years without watching Toy Story, and then my cousin's kid, the one I had to babysit it last night, was he's into Toy Story a lot. He's 2 years old. He's just, but that's all he fucking watches. But you know what though? I don't care how many times we watch it. Toy Story is just a great film. I think we spent a little too much time on Toy Story, actually, to be
One
honest.
last thing though, you catch the Sid cameo in 3.
Say what?
You catch the Sid cameo in 3.
Sid?
Yeah,
Oh, the little shit. Yeah,
yeah,
he was the garbage driver.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm not the only one who saw it. I was talking to Al the other day, and he saw. He's like, Sid had a cameo. I'm like, dude, it was freaking obvious.
The skull shirt, man. The skull shirt.
Yeah, so it was funny because I actually forgot about Sid altogether until right before I went to see the movie. I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna have a cameo of Sid just for old time's sake. And sure enough, they did. It's like, thank you, Pixar, for reading my mind.
Thank you. This is becoming a how we love Toy Story list. Let's move on. Number 8 is the Little Mermaid.
The most overrated, I think, of the Renaissance movies.
If you want, if there's any movie that my mom sings most songs out of, it's Little Mermaid. Ugh.
This is also the beginning of the digital age for Disney.
Uh,
Sort of.
was it?
It has the first not all digital, but digital shot in a Disney movie or animation
Yeah.
movie anyway. Which is
Let's see.
the ending shot with the rainbow and stuff. A lot of that was digital.
Yeah. Actually, my uncle actually has the original VHS cover
So do I.
with the phallic symbol
Yep.
in the background. That's fucking awesome.
Yep.
I don't know what's funny about penises, but still, it's there.
It's the fact that it's in a Disney movie is why it's funny. But
But
no, I mean, you watch this movie and it like Snow White, it's dated pretty badly
a bit.
actually.
It's a little more. I would think it's a little more mythical. So age doesn't really affect it too much, but it's there. It's not exactly something I'll watch over and over again.
I guess it could be on the list, but nowhere near this high. I mean,
I wouldn't say. Yeah, it's probably again for the significance and not for the actual content quality.
eh,
But yeah, if I'm ever like sitting on my ass and like try channel surfing and I see that it's on, yeah, I'll change it to that and I'll watch it. But to go out of my way to watch it, no, I won't do that.
no.
With that said, number 7,
Pixar
another
again.
movie.
Half this list is Pixar. It's Up.
Up.
Another great movie.
Yeah, I saw this. This is actually the first Pixar film I ever saw in 3D, and it didn't do anything. I'm sorry.
Showing how 3D is absolutely pointless.
Yeah.
Love
This.
the movie.
Yeah. I never. I think there's no other Pixar movie that drives you in with such a compelling story. With the first few minutes of the movie, like you get introduced to
And it does it without words.
Yeah, it does it with no dialogue whatsoever, and you're introduced to Carl and his wife Elle, and already you feel bad for Carl. You know, at the same time, you just want to see him achieve his goal, and then it gets better when we're introduced to Russell, and then
His
we get the
dog.
bird, and then we get the dog. I can't tell you how many times I laughed when I heard the dog. Yeah, like it's a bit gimmicky at first, but the shit he says and the way he says, actually, I like all the dogs in that film.
And I think it's fair where it is.
I
And
would.
it's a great movie.
I'm not exactly sure.
Hmm.
Comparing it to everything else, I think we should move on before I get a better another. Oh, number 6.
No, you say what you think it should be first.
Uh, I don't think it's more significant than Toy Story.
Fair enough.
I will say that. I think it's right up there, but not more significant.
Fair enough. Number 6, which I don't think should even qualify, considering it's just a longer version of a TV episode, but South Park: Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
South Park.
I mean, it's a hilarious movie, but it shouldn't be on here.
I get. I know. All right. I used to watch South Park religiously.
It sucks
actually.
now.
I used to watch South Park religiously. I used to watch South Park. I used to watch it. I didn't. It's totally not a show for my age. I was watching it. I was like maybe 10, 11 years old watching that show. It was not meant for my age. Yet I still watched it anyway because I thought I knew what was funny. I think the movie. I will not deny the movie is hilarious. It is a great watch. But in terms of an animated movie, no. I'm sorry, this does not belong on the list at all.
It's a great soundtrack, funny as hell, not on this list.
Yeah, you know what? This is one of those movies I can listen to and I can still laugh at it. But it wouldn't matter if I actually watched it. When I think of an animated movie, I'm not just watching an animated movie to listen to a story, but I'm also want to see it beautifully move. I don't get that with South Park. South Park's animation is cheap. It's cost effective.
And it's doing its own thing.
Yeah. You don't watch South Park. To me, you don't watch South Park for the animation. You watch it for the plot, the storyline, and the dialogue. And to me, like you only need an audio tape to do that. You don't actually need to watch it unless it's a visual gag or something like that. But I'm sorry, I don't think this belongs on the list at all.
I mean, how does this beat out Secret of Nim or Wallace and Gromit?
How does
Or
it beat?
Mononoke.
I don't think it beats how Toy Story. I'm sorry, or Up. It isn't. I can go. I know. I can nerd rage all the time I want, and it won't make a difference. But I pretty much just said what I needed to say.
Yeah.
So let's just. Do you have anything else to say?
No, other than it doesn't belong on this list, and how is it better
No.
than Mononoke, Secret of Nim and Wallace and Gromit? Or Ghost in the Shell, or Akira? Or anything on this list, basically.
Number five is a movie Warner Brothers fucked up royally
With the marketing.
with the marketing.